we're talking about you as a director.
Yes.
And before we started filming, I asked you, do you refer to yourself as aspiring or just as a director who's growing?
So,
And you said you have a story.
yeah, with the aspiring thing. So every now and then, like, you know, sometimes you walk through life and you're waiting to hear something, but you don't know what it is and you don't know how it's going to be phrased. But once you hear it, you're like, oh shit, I've been waiting to hear this for a while. So a month before I shot my first short film, I was on set for Blood Psalms, just visiting, you know, hanging out. And Zolisa had introduced me to Jamil. Like, this is Sia. He's a young actor and an aspiring director. And Jamil looked at me and he was just like, "Stop aspiring."
Oh.
And I was like, "I've been waiting to hear that." You know what I mean? So with whatever I do, like even now, I'm into photography and I love photography.
Yeah.
I don't say aspiring. I just say I am
a photographer.
I am a photographer. I am a director. I am.
And now, you said your first short film was, are you talking about Carrots?
Yeah.
So can you talk to your process as a director now to creating the story before, and then getting CC and everyone else involved with that film to it getting on Showmax?
Cool. So, I was doing a communications degree through NISA, and I was bored, so I dropped out.
Okay.
I just didn't feel good doing it. I got no benefit from it at all. So I dropped out and was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna make a movie, right? And I was watching Chungking Express by One Kar Wai. It's one of my favorite. And once I finished watching the movie, the idea came into my head. I was like, oh, great, cool. And I kind of wrote the script out very quickly. It was one of those ones. Every now and then you can just write the whole thing. Yeah. But I learned very quickly. It's
not always like that. Yeah, definitely.
And from that point, I'd given it to a couple of people that I respect to read it, and they were like, hey, man, I think you should do something about this. I was like, oh, okay, great. And one of the catalysts to actually get it done after that conversation with Jamil was I'd called Lemachang. I was like, hey, bro, how's it going? Just to catch up. And he was like, oh, yeah, bro. And by the way, like, how's the thing coming along? How's the directing thing coming along? And I was like, actually, bro, like, I kind of have the story. And then I kind of told it to him over the phone. He was like, dude, I'd be down to do it. Yeah. I'm around for 2 weeks. If you can get it together, Let's do it. Yeah. I was like, shit, great. Yeah. And so, you know, I kind of picked it up, spoke to Lavilani Mudao. I was like, yo, bro, would you mind shooting this? And he was like, the champion. Of course. Yeah. I was like, great. And I'd been looking, like, with Cece, it was weird because I'd been looking around for the character of Faye, who's going to play Faye. And I had gone, like, it was searched hell and high water, called everybody, heard no 1,000 times, which is great. And then it was like a couple of days before shooting, and like me and Cece were just hanging out in the green room, and I was just like, why didn't I think of you? I was just like, hey, like, it's been right in front of me the whole time. I was like, would you be down? And she was like, hell yeah. Yeah. And we shot it in a day. That was amazing because, like, I don't think in words, I think in pictures. And so, like, I kind of, like, had this whole thing in my head for a while. Yeah. And then we started to edit it, and then we graded it, especially once it got graded. Yes. I was like, oh, shit, this thing was in my head not so long ago. Yeah, and now here it is. Oh, it's crazy. Especially, like, and I think a lot of filmmakers say this, like, when you hear the actors say the words for the first time, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
And I watched the behind the scenes, and from that, one can see that you planned everything to the last detail. But can you talk to any things that were improvised, that were not part of the script, or you just had to go with something else because something wasn't working out?
So in that sense, I think, like, just some of the dialogue, because, you know, you give it to actors and then they put it in their brain and then it comes out. It's just like, oh yeah, no, you just said it a lot better than I could write it. So I let those type of things happen organically. Lavilani sometimes would suggest, hey man, we should rather get it from here than from here. Yeah. And, you know, we sit down, we think about it, and I'm like, yeah, sure. So I'm always open to those things, even though I do plan 100%. But it's always nice to get something that you never expected. But one of the biggest changes was the grade. I didn't know I wanted to change the grade, but I was watching it and I was like, I think I want to change.
Yeah.
You know, at this particular point in time. And also I gave it to one of my close friends, Sihle. He's a director. And he was just like, hey, dude, why don't you just slap directed by Xaba right in the middle? And I was like, that's dope.
Yeah.
So little things came here and there afterwards, for sure.
No, I first saw it, I think it was on Prime Video. Or the film itself.
Showmax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw it before before it was on. Yes, right. I think that was on YouTube. So how was it getting it onto Showmax?
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Like just the process of licensing work and just seeing the back end of how you deliver things. I thought it was just going to be like, oh yeah, let me just send you the thing and it's done.
Oh, it's a process.
It's a process, but I was very, very thankful that I had people that I could call and that could guide me through the process and just
done it before.
Who have done it multiple times. Shout out to Nick Costeris. So I guess in that sense, it was really good. It was very educational.
Yeah,
more than anything.
Yeah.